Hello everybody and welcome back to another Texas Chainsaw Massacre the game video. Today we're going over some of the things that were discussed this past Thursday on the most recent Q&A that Matt and Wes did. So just straight ahead, we know for a fact that the upcoming patch that has over 150 fixes in testing that they're testing right now, they're targeting for February 6th. That's what they're targeting for, so that is what is going to happen. Don't expect the patch to come anytime soon. But let's go over some of the changes that are happening. I have some notes here that I want to target. So the first up that they cover is grappling. It changes now where, like, if you're grappling a family member and another second family member now comes to you, it won't automatically kill you. However, if your health bar is very low, you will still die, obviously. Like, it's just going to chip away damage. So the same damage that it will cause, for example, when you're hitting someone that is not grappling, that's the damage that is going to cause you if you're holding the other family member and grappling them. So if there's a, let's say you're grappling Johnny and you have 15% of your health or something, and another face comes full charging with their chainsaw up and drop it down on you, it most likely will go into the kill animation. The next one is trapping Leatherface. A lot of family members have been trapping Leatherface and the family members in some of the rooms by the latching mechanism and then holding it and then barging it. So that's going to be a thing in the past. Leatherface cannot destroy them and get out. So don't try to fuck with Leatherface. He will come for you. Okay, so the next thing that I thought it was very interesting, and I do appreciate it, because I don't use instant Leatherface a lot. While it's helpful, I didn't find it instant. It did took some time to like rev it up, and his animation would happen, and the whole like whatever the fuck he does. So now they're adding an actual instant start, or at least a little bit more closer to that. So it kind of incentivizes the more stealthy play with Leatherface. So it's secondary, I guess, like play style for Leatherface. So they're trimming down, I guess like about a second or two of the animation when he goes up, so it's much faster and shorter in that regard, which is amazing. While we're at it, in the Leatherface changes as well too, they say that they're shaving down about 2 seconds of how long it takes for Leatherface to break a barricade. That is amazing. Those barricades were taking too long. Sometimes the victims will be at the other side of the map. By the time that you finish chopping down the barricade, Leatherface is supposed to be a strong character. Make him so. The next thing, it's something that was a bug on console, I believe, where there was like extra blood trails that would populate, right? So now they said that they're finding it somewhere in the middle ground. So basically, there's going to be more blood than the PC people had, but not as much blood as the console players had. So somewhere in the middle, that it does, I guess, it might help some of the family members and people to find people who are bleeding, which makes sense. I mean, if you're someone that is injured in real life, you're going to, specifically to that degree, you're going to leave a lot of blood when you're going out. And people will be able to probably track it. So that's great to see how that works and see if it doesn't break anything in the game, for sure. Nancy Poison Claws. There's fixes to the perk. I'm not going to go over all the fixes. There's a lot of perks that are getting fixed, obviously. I may just add some of the fixes to perks right after my talking point right here and just let Matt and Wes discuss it.
Choose Flight, Bomb Squad, easily tuckered out, and confusing mechanic. These four, I think, are going to be important.
Yeah, top bill for what we're hearing in the community right now, that this needs some love. This needs to be looked at. Someone please adjust this.
Confusing mechanic now works on the fusion valve. Easily tuckered out. We dropped down the percentage values for this one. Easily tuckered out now is going to do 10, 25, and 40%. And basically, this is a stepping down of the power of easily tuckered out. Choose Flight is a big change. We are scrapping the charges on Choose Flight. We think it should be a moment of kind of adrenaline reboost kind of thing, right? Where you've stammed out but you need just that little bit more. So we like the functionality of that, but the charge system was not really working here. Bomb Squad is the next big one that we changed, and this we did the opposite. We went the charge route with Bomb Squad. Now Bomb Squad will work off of charges again. The idea being, you equip Bomb Squad, you can at level 1 disable 1 trap, at level 2 you can disable 2 traps, and at level 3 you can disable 3 traps. Now those can be the same trap 3 times, so if the hitchhiker is resetting that trap and you keep going back to it, or you know, it's in a traffic area and you have to hit it, it can be the same trap 3 times or 3 different traps.
Then big thing that is coming as well too. Lobby timer is going to be gone. Obviously, they said that this is not a full solution / or a permanent solution to the lobby issue. It's more just like a temporary thing while they're trying to figure it out exactly what's going on. And they did admit basically, at least how I took it. If you want to correct me, that's fine. It's both a player behavior issue, obviously, people like dodging. The other thing that they said is the back end problem, which is what I thought from the beginning that it was, and a lot of people kind of thought that too. So it is a coding issue, basically. Some bug that is in the code that is not allowing for those lobbies to be refilled when people dodge and when people leave. But yeah, so those sort of things kind of like that are getting fixed. Let me see. And then we're gonna go to Danny. So Danny, this is what's going on with Danny. The instant study ability is gonna get changed. And how Matt explained it, the best way I can describe it is that you cannot tamper now an object that you instant studied it. So for example, if you instant study the gen, you cannot tamper that specific object. Personal opinion, I don't think that's gonna do much for Danny's strong ability. Sure, that's gonna prevent the whole bullshit of going to Valve, instant study it, and pretty much instant tamper it and get out of your way through that. But Danny's problems go much deeper than that. And they mention other things that honestly I'm confused about. So I'm gonna let Matt kind of discuss it.
Now, instant study will disable the ability to tamper fuse box, car battery, valve, tank, or generator if you use it on those. Instant studying for other objects than the aforementioned is unchanged. We've also made it so that Danny no longer has to inspect an exit object before he can tamper it, and we'll see prompts for both tamper or instant study. Prompts displayed as long as the tamper conditions are met. We've made it so that Danny no longer has to inspect an exit object before he can tamper it, and we'll see prompts for both. So if you walk up, you don't have to kind of inspect it. You can see the prompt and just, prompts are displayed as long as the tamper conditions are met. So fuse box is open and has a fuse in it, or the valve handle is already attached. That lets the player make the choice at that moment what to do. Tamper, instant study, gain the knowledge, and kind of, if you have instant study on, devoid the item. Blah, blah. Knowledge gain values have been rebalanced so that they are more even across objects, but still have different values. So we also reduce the amount inspect speed is reduced at level 1 and 2 to 20 and 50% on the inspection kind of bonus in his metagame.
I don't think this is going to be a good fix. I think this is a very tame, extremely cautious to a degree that it doesn't really make any sense when there's like huge amounts of people that are showing you issues with Danny, how ridiculously overpowered he is. I know you don't want to say nerfs, but that's kind of what he needs. He needs a full rework on his ability. I'm sorry. His ability is just too powerful, And again, maybe you don't have to go the route of the full rework. As I mentioned in the other video that I will link down below and probably put it somewhere up here, you can make it where basically there's a 10, 15, and 20%, 10, 15, and 20 second tampering on the objects depending on if you're level 1, level 2, level 3. Not that hard. It's actually very simple. It's just more fair in my opinion, and then still keep the thing where you can't instant study and tamper the same object. So basically you can use instant study on other objects and then bring that study that you have to tamper an object, but you still have to actually study it, the object that you're trying to tamper, if it's an exit gate, for example. So Danny, it's hard to tell, obviously, because sometimes the way that they say things on streams is somewhat technical. I'm thinking for Danny, we're gonna have to just see when it comes on February 6th and hope for the best. That's kind of what I'm thinking myself and what I'm hoping for it. So I'm just hoping that this does bring some changes, and I'm wrong, and it actually does a lot for it, but I just don't have much hope for the changes on paper. So we'll see what the changes are actually when they come into the game. Now that we're done with that, let's go over some good things that are coming to the game. For example, they said new content is coming within the next 90 days, and it starts February 6th. So from February 6th Onward, 90 days from there, we're getting execution packs plural, for families. Weapon skins. I don't know what that means. I'm assuming just you're gonna get skins for your weapons, so like Hitchhiker's little knife. They also said they're working with the company for family and victim cosmetics for everyone in the game, and museum mode. You'll be able to move around family house, kind of virtual cabin style of F13. I'm not really familiar with the virtual cabin in F13, so I can't really give you much of an example for that. But if you are familiar with that, that's kind of what it will be. Museum mode, the way they described it, is that you'll be able to kind of relive some of the moments or watch behind the scenes from the movie and the game while being in there. And I think it's going to have also a photo mode in certain areas of the family house, which is great. I think it's a great thing to have. Keeps people engaged, adds things for that. And that's going to be free. The museum mode, they're not going to charge for that, obviously. That's the falls into the etc. category that they were talking about when they released the price chart. So that's good. And then we're getting a new family and a new victim member closer to the 90 days. 90 days from February 6th. So we're looking at about 3 months from February 6th. We should be getting a new family and a new victim. Now, there's a couple other things. There's 2 things that are coming for free, cosmetic-wise. It would be the wedding gown Sissy, which they didn't show anything about it. They just said that they were working on it, obviously. And then they did show shirtless Johnny. That's coming for free too. So you can get it, claim it. It's going to be a free outfit that everybody that has, obviously, that everybody that has the game can get the shirtless Johnny, along with wedding gown Sissy as well too. That's great. I'm really appreciative to God for releasing free cosmetics like this. These things do keep the community engaged. It boosts the morale up, and I think it does show that, you know, you're giving people stuff for a game that they pay $40 for, which is fair. It also said there's also going to be a new map called the Mill, and this is what it looks like. It's very interesting. I think it's going to be an interesting map. Also, they talked about verticality in the map. There's 4 stories, I believe, plus the basement. So it's going to be interesting to see how that works for like window jumping and all the way at the top. I wonder how that's going to work too as well too. It looks very interesting, and let's see. I don't know. We don't know yet who the family member or the victim is, so we'll have to wait and be surprised by it. And then the last thing that they covered basically is things that chat asked. So we have people asked about Leatherface stalling not being fixed. I think they're still looking into that. They didn't mention much about what exactly is going on there. I'm not sure. They fixed a UI bug that was happening, but they still haven't fixed the actual problem that causes Leatherface to stall early. So that's that. And then we have the Sissy and Sunny buff changes. They're working on it actively. And I think they said that they recently started working on the Sissy one, and the Sunny one has been started already. So they're working on that. They said for sure there's not going to be a rework of the characters, more just like buff changes. So I'm assuming probably toughness, endurance changes, and whatnot. Stamina for Sissy, or like damage for Sissy or whatnot. That's what we're looking at, or at least that's what it sounds like. They're also tweaking down how long victim noise follows you. So I think it's, from what they're explaining, I think it's when like to allow for more also stealthy play, so this doesn't follow you for as long as it's been following you. So it's going to be a little bit reduced. I think it's so nice, and the reduction, I don't think it's going to be much of a problem. I think if anything, it does, you know, it balances off a little bit of that. They said that they're still working on raising the cap along with what rewards it will give you. So basically, if you're level 99 and want to keep grinding up, I'm assuming to probably level 200, they're working on that, and they're working on what exactly they're going to give you as a player if you decide to go and grind all the way up to level 200. That's going to be interesting to see, and we'll see what that gives you. I'm thinking cosmetics, maybe exclusive things that you can only get if you go all the way up there. All right, that being said, I think that's all the things that I can, I guess, cover. But if you did enjoy this video, obviously leave a thumbs up, subscribe, you know what to do. And yeah, you can watch any of the other videos that I do on TCM. I haven't been playing TCM as much gameplay, but I have been doing a lot of coverage on like new stuff that comes out, and just talking about the game and whatnot. I also play Dead by Daylight and indie horror games, and yeah. So I hope to see you around, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.